Matthysse.
What's good, YouTube? It's your boy 2K the God. It's your boy Cess. We're getting ready to do this new shit where we pretty much have conference calls through Skype. We do breakdowns, we do assessments. We talk about fighters that might be hyped or that are nice. It's gonna be a good segment. For right now, for the first video, we're gonna talk about the post-fight of what happened last night between Broner and Allakhverdiev, Victor Postol, and Matthysse. And I also want to touch on Jose Pedraza and Edner Cherry. So we're gonna start there first. My man Cess. So
yo, what up?
We was watching the same shit last night. What'd you think about Jose Pedraza as a prospect, and did he deserve the decision that he got last night against Edner Cherry?
First off, I want to say last night was a very, very, very good night for boxing. Yeah. This year has been a very good year so far for boxing. But to jump right into that, Pedraza, man, he wasn't convincing last night. He did nothing to actually draw me in. As a fan of his and as a prospect, I think normally fans like myself are very big on prospects because these guys are gonna carry the torch.
Word.
They're gonna be they're looking to take the sport to the next level.
Word.
And last night, man, he did nothing to draw me in. I mean, he quite frankly he looked like shit. Yeah.
My man put it mildly, huh?
Yeah. That's being nice. I mean, I know Edner Cherry has been around the game and he's no scrub.
Word.
But at the end of the day, you look for those type of guys to perform well against.
Word.
Because you know that those guys are gonna bring a certain skill set into the fight to where you can show what you really have.
Right.
And I mean that in a sense of you break down your skill level and you really put it to the test.
Right.
When you're fighting guys like that. And Pedraza looked horrible. He was getting countered a lot. There were at times I felt that if Cherry had a tad bit left in him, he could have did more. But earlier in the fight, he left too many right hands out there. He left a lot of missed punches out there. That I think would have made his victory even that much more definitive.
Word.
He lost, but let's just call it what it is. It was a bullshit decision. It was 117-111. There's absolutely no way in the world that you could have scored that fight 117-111.
Word.
There was just no way. I mean, Cherry did some very good things. And honestly, Cherry really didn't do a lot of super crafty veteran type moves.
No, he didn't.
To me, he just fought.
Right.
I mean, he did nothing that was just overly impressive to exploit Pedraza. I do believe the only thing that we've seen is in terms of him getting some of his flaws getting exploited is he's just not ready.
Right.
He's just not ready because normally when you have crafty veterans, they pretty much make anybody look bad. One guy I can just call off the top of my head would be Luis Collazo. Luis Collazo has been he's sort of a gatekeeper, journeyman type of fighter, you know. And when he gets in there with guys, he normally makes them all look bad, you know. He's because he's a crafty type of a veteran fighter.
Ask Keith Thurman.
Exactly. And crafty veterans, they typically do things that prospects haven't seen yet, but it's up to the prospect to make that adjustment. And Pedraza had 12 rounds to do it, and he did nothing different.
Right.
He did absolutely nothing different. The only thing he did was turn southpaw, and that's because he was getting his ass tagged when he was standing right-handed. So the only thing I believe he did was he tried to give a different angle and a different look, and it didn't work. The same thing was happening to him.
Word. So
how about yourself?
So, yeah, one thing I want to say is, at the end of your statement, that's the only thing he did do. He turned southpaw. That's the adjustment he made. Now, this is an adjustment that he makes continuously in all of his fights, pretty much. He'll go from orthodox to southpaw at some point in the fight. But I think in this scenario, in this fight in particular, he was forced to do it because he had no fucking answers for what Edner Cherry was doing to him.
Exactly.
He's a good counterpuncher. I like his head movement, but I don't like his defense going backwards. My man cannot fight on the back foot, B. And he was doing that Deontay Wilder bullshit when Edner Cherry was coming forward. My man was like this with his fucking hands out. You know what I'm saying? He did that shit a few fucking times going backwards. So, but there were points when Edner Cherry's throwing combinations. Jose Pedraza was giving him some head movement, you know, moving back, turning with the punch like that, and he would miss. He would make Edner Cherry miss. So I'll give him head movement. He still needs to work on his defense. He definitely needs to work on his footwork, especially going backwards. Another thing, the reason why this fight was so telling for me that was because he's looking to counter, right?
Yeah.
And while he may get the counter off, and he may land the counter, Edner Cherry is going over his counters with combinations.
Yeah.
And he's actually fucking landing the majority of his punches when those exchanges were happening. You know what I'm saying? I think I gave Edner Cherry the third round, right? I gave Pedraza 1, 2, and 4. From fucking round 5 to 9, Edner Cherry dominated the fight.
Yeah.
So that's what, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
Yeah.
That's 5 fucking rounds.
That's at least 5 rounds right there.
And then round 3 on my scorecard, that's 6 rounds, B. You know what I'm saying? Yep. So I still, one of those rounds was a swing round.
Yeah.
And I gave to Pedraza. So at the end of the day, my scorecard was 115, 113. I had it 1 round, you know, for Edner Cherry. 7 rounds to 5. You know what I'm saying? Yep. So, and I don't see how anybody can have that fight 9 rounds to 3.
No.
For Jose Pedraza.
No. Just absolutely not.
Exactly. It's just an absolute mockery of the fucking sport.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? The situation where we got a fucking prospect who can make man X an amount of money in the future, and man X makes sure that he takes care of this prospect. That's the fucking problem with boxing, dude.
Yep.
We just seen this shit last week with Fred Cassey and Dominic Brazil.
Yes.
No fucking way Dominic Brazil wins 10 straight fucking rounds.
No.
No. And
the
same thing in that fight, dude. Same thing in that fight is the same in this fight. Fred Cassey won at least 5 rounds. Edner Cherry won at least 5 rounds. Unequivocally, he won at least 5 fucking rounds, B. So it can either be a 2-point edge, well, just a 1 round edge for Cherry, or fucking draw. You know what I'm saying?
Yep. That's exactly how I had it scored. I would have been nice to say it was a draw.
Yeah, exactly.
Or I would have gave the fight to Edner Cherry by at least a round.
Right.
But like you said, that's the problem with boxing, man. A lot of times, it's they play the upside game. Whoever has the bigger upside, that's who the victory is going to go to a lot of times. And that's one of the aspects of the sport that ruins it for fans like you and myself, because we know what we're watching and we can call a fight as if we were sitting ringside seeing everything that's going on. You know, and I think you know, it's very telling in these type of decisions where the judges clearly rob a guy and the margin of that defeat is so wide, it kind of leaves a look on your face like, what the hell?
Yeah, man.
You know, so whenever I hear wide margins like that, I know that the judges wanted to leave absolutely no way of Cherry winning.
Right.
You know, right. So it was just bullshit, man. It was a bullshit call. Yeah. You know, I feel bad for Edner Cherry.
And this was, by the way, this was his second title fight in 8 years.
Wow.
It took him 8 years to get another title fight, B. So I mean, this was a long time coming from my man. You know what I mean?
Yes, absolutely. and that's the problem. That's the problem right there. When you have guys like Edner Cherry and you have guys like Yaninski Gonzalez,
right,
who get these shots, they leave absolutely everything in the ring, and you rob them at the end of a fight.
Yeah.
You know, as a fan, it's bad for me because, you know, we're sitting here watching this shit, and you know, at the end of the fight, we know who won, and then we're proved wrong by a bullshit scorecard.
Welcome to boxing.
yeah, exactly. But I feel even more for the fighters because, just, you know, what you just said, 8 years and your second title shot.
Yeah.
You know, you're going out there to make a statement. And to leave it all in the ring, or, you know, go home knowing that you lost. Yep. And these guys cannot go home knowing that they lost, even though they left everything in the ring.
Well, I mean, it's fucked up, but unfortunately, my man keeps the IBF super featherweight strap, junior lightweight strap, which is 130 pounds. I just want to throw this tidbit in there. My man Javier Fortuna is in the same division, WBA super featherweight or junior lightweight, however way you like to say it. 130-pound champion. I think if these two meet, Javier Fortuna knocks this motherfucker out. Real talk.
After that performance last night, man, I'll second that. You know, he'll beat him. Pedraza's performance was not good. Like I said, I didn't see anything that I liked. Yep. You know, that I didn't see anything that I was comfortable in saying, you know, wow, man, this guy is really good. Yep. You know, so I just need to see more. You know,
we need a better way to commission this shit in boxing, man. So this shit we can cut these robberies out of here.
Oh yeah.
All right, man, let's move to the next topic. Next fight is going to be Victor Postol and Lucas Matthysse. Now, my man had Lucas Matthysse. There's no shame in that, nothing wrong with that. Lucas Matthysse is one of the elite fighters at 140. I had Victor Postol, but I had Victor Postol by split decision. My man had Matthysse by unanimous decision. Neither one of us were right at the real outcome of this fight. All of us were shocked last night when Victor Postol knocked Lucas Matthysse out in the 10th round. Give me your take on that, B.
The only thing that I can say is...
Hell yeah.
I have to give Victor Postol absolute praise.
Yeah.
As I'm watching this guy, I'm looking at him, and I'm actually seeing this guy turn into he actually turned into Joe Calzaghe.
Oh, that's a good assessment. That's a good assessment.
In this fight, man, just from a right-handed, from the orthodox stance, this guy, I mean, he moves just great movement. Yeah. Great movement, lets his hands go. No real significant punching power, but it's not one shot that hurts you. It's actually just the abundance of punches that he throws.
His accumulation, absolutely.
Exactly. Yeah. Just the accumulation of blows, man. A lot of people don't understand certain aspects of the boxing game and how a guy can sort of demoralize you in a way. I mean, they can actually beat the fight out of you. Absolutely. And there's really, it's not the punching power that kind of makes you think twice. It's just the fact that you cannot do anything to this guy. That is, and I think for anybody that's boxed out there, for anybody that's been in the ring before, that's the worst, one of the worst feelings you could have in a fight. Yeah. Is for a guy to be within your sights, but whenever you get off a shot, he moves, and then when he moves, you step forward to give him something else, and the dude hits you 6 times, and then he spins out and he turns you. Yep. And I mean, there's just nothing you can do.
That shit you just said right there. My bad, B. I didn't mean.
Oh no, go ahead. Yeah.
I just want to put emphasis on what you said. You said he spins out or he turns you. Yes. That shit right there was what had me believing from the get-go that Postol was going to get this win, because that's something that Matthysse hasn't seen on that level. Even fighting Devin Alexander and Zab Judah, they didn't turn him like that. No, they weren't giving him angles like that. And I seen Postol do that to Selçuk Aydin. That's when I was like, that's going to be a problem for Matthysse. My bad, B. Go ahead.
No. That's a great point. To piggyback off of that, that was one of the things that neither Judah or Alexander did. They never turned Matthysse. They actually, he actually kept him in front of him.
Yeah, exactly.
And it was one of the reasons why he was able to get off some of the shots that he was able to get off, is because he kept those guys right within his sights, and both guys are left-handed, and he lined them up both with his right hand. Yep. Last night, he could not do anything to Postol, and which leads me to believe that Viktor Postol is just on another level. He's just that good of a boxer, man. He's really, when I look at the guy, man, he's fundamentally sound. The guy is great. I mean, he's turning out to be a great fighter. I could honestly see this guy ruling the 140-pound division. Oh yeah. The way, and I'm not a huge Calzaghe fan, but I definitely respect what he did. Absolutely. I can. Jeff Lacey. Yes. Oh my God. We can't even talk about that fight. But I can see this dude ruling that division the way Calzaghe ruled his division. Right now, the biggest threat to him, if this guy were to stay at 140, is a guy by the name of Terrence Crawford. That would be that would be a great fight. Right now, after seeing what I seen last night, it's a 50-50 fight. But truly, man, Viktor Postol is a force to be reckoned with. I see why the guys that were supposed to fight him don't want to fight him. Last night we seen Viktor Postol versus Selçuk Aydin 2.0. Oh man. This was almost the exact same fight down to Viktor Postol getting rocked. Yes. I mean, absolutely. It was the exact same fight. The only difference was Selçuk Aydin fell differently than Lucas Matthysse.
Yeah, exactly.
That was the only difference, man. But I'm definitely a believer. I love the skill set. I love the in and out game. The guy really has what he doesn't have in head movement. He makes up for in and out. Very quick exchanges. Very, just great footwork. And like I said, man, you you cannot substitute the art of turning a guy in boxing and pivoting.
Word.
You just can't substitute it.
That art right there is unsung in
Yes.
boxing. It is something that people don't understand
Exactly.
how effective that shit can be if that particular fighter has mastered that fucking craft.
Yes.
You feel me?
Yes.
Being able to turn a motherfucker, especially, I mean, if you just think about it, I mean, for guys, for the viewers out there that have been in the ring, right?
Yeah.
Amateur or pro, it takes a toll on the pressure fighter if he's using all his momentum to come forward, and then he suddenly needs to adjust left or right because his opponent has turned him. That is devastating.
Yes.
To an aggressive fighter.
It's almost equivalent to hitting a guy with a good shot.
Word.
I mean, it's that effective.
Yeah.
You know, in terms of it just being surely effective. That's just about how effective it is against an aggressive fighter.
Yeah.
You know, like you said, using this guy's momentum against him and making him turn and reset, especially after you just hit him with 3 or 4 punches.
Yep.
I mean, it was just a great performance, man. It was for myself, just as a boxing fan, it was a treat to watch this guy win the way that he won, and I didn't even have him picked.
Yeah.
You know, so
Excellent
just
fight.
yep. Just
Go ahead, B.
No. Just the fact that, man, he went in there, man, and he took Matthyse's best shot.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And that was one of my points in the prediction. I said, well, look, I know the guy can box. I seen him fight Selçuk Aydin. He looked spectacular, you know, but I want to see what he's able to do against Matthysse and his power.
Right.
And once I seen him take one of Matthyse's right hands, I knew the fight was over. I said, oh, no. He's going to lose now. I didn't expect Matthysse to get knocked out.
Nah, hell, nobody did.
Yeah, yep. But, and I feel for Lucas Matthysse as well.
Yeah.
Last night, and I'm sorry, I'm going to wrap it up right here. Last night, this is something that I always tell a lot of guys, but they never seem to understand where I'm coming from. When you're watching a fight, you can see a fighter's heart and soul be taken in the ring. I don't care how tough the guy is supposed to be. When things are not going his way, a lot of guys can't last 12 rounds.
Right.
I read earlier that Matthysse said that he temporarily went blind.
Oh,
well,
really?
Yeah. But I would temporarily go blind too if a guy was hitting me with 5 and 6 punches at a time, you know? I mean, shit. The only thing you can see is glove.
That's it.
You know? I'm not sure how true that was. If he said it, maybe it did happen.
Right.
But Lucas Matthysse last night, man, something was taken out of him in that fight. And I don't expect him to be the same. I really don't. I don't expect him to be the same fighter if he comes back because, like I said, something was taken out of him. A little piece of the machine was broke last night.
I seen a little photo, man, of Lucas Matthysse, man, and some of his skin was knocked off and shit, and underneath his skin was a Terminator and shit. You know what I'm saying? The man got like what Arnold looked and shit at the end of Terminator 1 and shit. You know what I'm saying? That's exactly how they made Matthysse look, and I mean his nickname is the Machine in Spanish, so. It fits, B. That's exactly what the fuck happened. He got completely demolished.
Yes, and he did.
I thought Postol was gonna win. I figured it would be a split decision only because of the popularity that Matthysse had. Yeah. I didn't think he would demolish Matthysse the way he did, but I knew he'd give him a boxing lesson. And you know how it is in boxing, man, and the judges, they don't really particularly accept guys with no name that like to box.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Guys that love to box, that like to be on the outside. If you don't have a name, most judges are not going to score fights in your favor. So that's why I had it a split decision, because it would have been so. It would have been easy to see that Postol was out boxing the shit out of this dude, but they would have tried to give rounds to Matthysse due to effective punching, or not effective punching, but harder shots.
Yeah.
That's why I had it a split decision. But I mean, I've been high on this dude ever since before Celtic Iden. I knew that the reason why Danny Garcia didn't want to fight him before he fought Mauricio Herrera was because of what happened last night. I knew that the reason why Danny Garcia didn't honor his step aside money that he gave to Postol in order to fight Lamont Peterson was because of what happened last night. Yep. And I believe the reason why he went to 147 because I believe the WBC was getting ready to order this fight. They were getting ready to make this motherfucker fight Victor Postol unless he moved. So I believe the move to 147 was because he didn't want to fight this motherfucker, and because of what we saw last night.
Yeah.
So,
yes.
I mean,
what real quick, EJ, what's next for Postol?
I believe sky's the limit. I mean, this motherfucker. What I saw last night, I mean, Terrence Crawford has been the nigga at 140. I mean, he beat Ricky Burns easy as fuck over in the UK. You know what I'm saying? He beat the shit out of Yuriorkis Gamboa, the boogeyman, one of the boogeymans of the sport, besides Joan Guzman. Just beat the brakes off of him. Had a little bit of trouble with him early. Adjusted and knocked this motherfucker out, something that nobody's ever done before. I mean, he's running through cats, B. I mean, he even demolished Bradis Prescott on 2 weeks' notice. I mean, that's how he got on the map. You know what I'm saying? Same for you motherfuckers that don't know, Bradis Prescott is the first cat to stretch.
Knockout Americans.
You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
So, stretched this bitch ass out in the first round. You know what I'm saying? But you know, Terrence Crawford went in there and was like, nah, this motherfucker ain't shit. I'm gonna beat the shit out of him. That's exactly what he did.
That's what he did.
So this man is no joke. But I'm telling you right now, and I consider myself an expert. I consider my man Sess an expert analyst. As an expert analyst of this sport, I'm telling you that's a 50-50 fight.
Oh yeah.
50-50, B.
Down the line.
Crawford is the only guy that I believe at 140. That includes Adrian Broner. That includes Lamont Peterson and Amir Imam. I just got a question earlier today if how a fight between Amir Imam and Victor Postol will go. And I pretty much just like, you don't want that shit. But anyway, you know what I'm saying? But
it ruins his life.
It fucks his career up completely, yeah.
He may go to another sport.
Yo, it'll be just like Dimitri Pirog and Danny Jacobs. Danny Jacobs was the motherfucking man at one point. A big prospect, actually had more pub than Amir Imam had. And he met a guy named Dimitri Pirog, and his career has not been back to where it needed to be since. You know what I'm saying? So that's the type of shit that would happen to Amir Imam if he fought Victor Postol. But Bud Crawford is the only guy that can give him some fucking problems. But I'm still not ready to say he beats him. I'm not.
I'm definitely gonna second that. I'm not ready to say that Terrence Crawford beats him hands down. I will say this: the one thing that I respect about guys like Terrence Crawford and Victor Postol is when they come to fight, they come to fight.
Absolutely.
These guys do not come to show up. They don't come to just be a challenger. These guys come to take whatever it is that is being offered. If it's a belt, they're gonna take it, and they're gonna do it in definitive fashion. They are not gonna leave anything to chance. They're not gonna leave anything to the judges. That's the one thing that I highly respect about Terrence Crawford. He comes to knock you the fuck out.
He does.
And
he does it smart.
Exactly. He does it so intelligently. When he gets into the ring, he knows the knockout will come.
Right.
You know, if I get it, I get it. But a lot of guys have to understand. Sometimes when you're looking for the knockout, a lot of times it don't come. You know, your opponent is aware that you're trying to knock him out. And if the guy is on the same level or he's just as elite, a lot of times you're not going to knock this guy out.
Right.
I mean, this is just the way the sport is. Terence Crawford does it in a way that almost guarantees that he's going to either rock you, drop you, or put you to sleep. Victor Postol is another one of those guys that I'm coming. If I can win by knockout, I'll win by knockout. Now, he may not have just brutal, gruesome punching power, but at the end of the day, he will put you to sleep if he can.
Word.
You know, and it's because he's beaten you over the course of how many ever rounds. And guys have to understand, once you're ready to go, you're ready to go.
Game over.
Exactly. It's game over. And that's what I really, really respect about both guys is that they show up, man. They show up big. So a fight like that would be absolutely tremendous. Yeah. It would be great for the sport. And I'm going to say this, and I know some guys may not agree with this. I would rather see Postol Crawford than I would see Manny Pacquiao fight either one of those guys.
Oh, he said it. You know,
yeah,
you know the Pacquiao fans still exist, dog.
Oh yeah, oh man, I know. I'm gonna get a lot of death threats and a lot of hate, you know. But just to even further that and to give them more of a reason to hate and, you know, say the little bullshit that I know they're gonna say. Manny Pacquiao gets beat by Terence Crawford, and well, he may get knocked the fuck out against Terence Crawford.
Yeah, absolutely.
Victor Postol is going to embarrass him.
Yeah.
And he'll probably think after both of those fights, he should probably think about retiring. So a safe bet for him would be to not fight either one of those guys. Right. And if it ends up happening, let them fight each other.
Well, I think Bob Arum will definitely keep him away from Victor Postol. Victor Postol doesn't really have a backing like an Arum, De La Hoya, or Al Haymon right now. So
yes,
yeah, he'll definitely keep him away from Postol. But the Crawford fight, I mean, that's possible in the future. I think he's still trying to squeeze as much money as he can out of Manny Pacquiao right now.
I think so.
I think so. Throws him away, and when he does throw him away, that's exactly who the fuck you're gonna feed him to.
Exactly.
So
exactly.
All right, man. So let's go ahead and go to the next topic. To conclude that one, Victor Postol is now the WBC 140-pound champion and possibly the face of the division. He may be the new face, another Eastern European that dominates the sport of boxing, possibly. Man, so
looking good. They looking good, man. They looking good.
Absolutely. So let's go to the next fight. We got about 7 minutes. Adrian Broner versus Khabib Allakhverdiev. AB. Always balling. This nigga. Anyway, so they fought for the vacant WBA 140-pound title. I don't believe that should have happened. A lot of people argue, well, Adrian Broner was ranked number 2 in that particular division. That's at 140. I understand that, but he still came off of a loss, and he came off a pretty convincing loss. I still think he should have had one more fight before he was considered to be a guy to fight for a title. I don't give a fuck what division. Like, even think about it, B. He fought Sean Porter at 145. There is no fucking 145.
145, exactly.
So where does that go to? Do we, when he loses, do we adjust the rankings at 140 or at 147? It's at the midpoint. So I feel the rankings should be adjusted in both fucking divisions. You know what I'm saying?
You know what? I'm noticing a pattern. I definitely agree with that. I'm noticing a pattern with these guys. It's a different type of a safe fight.
Right.
In terms of ranking and in terms of sometimes what happens next.
Right.
You know, if you lose, you don't necessarily, you're nothing's necessarily going to happen to you.
Right.
You know, in terms of you're going to lose your ranking, or you know, you won't be able to get a title shot.
Right.
I think, and I can go more into detail about it later, but I think it's more of a safe bet. You know, for it's a different type of a business move for a guy like Al Heyman.
Right.
You know, it's more of a smart way to do things. As long as you don't get knocked out and just completely, absolutely thrash.
Yeah.
You know, it's a different type of a safe bet. You fight him at 45, you go back down to your regular weight, and you still be ranked number 1, number 2, whatever it is, you know, in this sanctioning body or just whatever the case may be, and you get a title shot.
Yeah.
You know, so it's a different type. It's another business move. You know?
Yeah, and I want to make, yeah, absolutely right. And I want to make clear, because I don't want motherfuckers calling me biased or hating Adrian Broner. I'm going to tell y'all niggas right now, I don't like nobody. Shit. You know what I'm saying? You got to prove to me. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
Guilty until proven innocent, basically. Shit.
Man, 100% with this guy.
You know what I'm saying? So, I'm not biased towards nobody. Fuck everybody. Anyway, fucking Khabib, the reason why I say it's okay for him to get a title shot, or he deserved this shot, is because he got clearly robbed against Jesse Vargas.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
he was the champion at that time, and it was actually the same belt, the WBA, 140-pound belt. So I believe that he deserved that simply because he got robbed, and I believe he should have fought somebody else. I mean, Adrian Broner can't just jump down to a division after taking an L, and then that L is not affecting him just because he wasn't at that division.
No, absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? That's bullshit, dude.
I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
You know, what did you think about Broner's performance last night against Khabib?
I thought it was good. I actually enjoyed the fight. Go ahead and let them know what we had. We both had Adrian Broner.
Yeah.
I had Adrian Broner, but I had Adrian Broner in a closer fight. I had watched Khabib Allakhverdiev fight before this. I watched him fight Joan Guzman live, and ever since that fight, I pretty much was a fan of Khabib Allakhverdiev. So I thought he was going to bring more than what he actually brought, and I mean, he just didn't do it. He couldn't do it. Adrian Broner was too fast for him. His punches were on fucking point. They were nice. They were crisp. His jab was beautiful. He didn't even throw a lot of his jab. He didn't even land. I think he only landed like 68 jabs.
Yeah.
I think he only threw like maybe 200 or something.
Yeah.
But he didn't even land a lot of his jabs. But the ones that he did land, them motherfuckers were crisp.
They landed, yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And the uppercut on the inside was beautiful. The telling punch to me, and you said this last night as well. The telling punches was the straight right hand to the top and to the body.
Yes.
Those were the telling punches of the fight. Khabib had no answer for. I mean, my man would have Adrian Broner up against the ropes, and then he would just stand there. He would throw a couple punches, then he would stand there and wait because he didn't know what to fucking expect next. You know what I'm saying? So Adrian's performance was fucking A+. I give him an A+ against a guy that I did not think it was gonna be easy work, and he made it easy work. But I still think Adrian Broner has trouble with the top guys in the division. Lamont Peterson, definitely Victor Postol, and most definitely Terrence Crawford. He has trouble with all three of those guys.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I'll definitely do a little piggyback off that. I think it was a great fight. It was a good fight for Broner. I'm gonna give his performance more of a B.
Okay.
I'm gonna give it more of a B. To me, it was almost the Carlos Molina fight.
Yeah.
Where he was able to sit back and kind of do what he wanted to do because he was better than Khabib in every facet of the fucking fight. You know, he was faster, quicker, stronger, had better footwork. You know, so it was almost a Molina fight in a way. You know, Khabib had just an absolute horrible game plan. I said before the fight that if Khabib boxed him, he would get his ass beat.
Yeah.
You know, but I thought that Khabib would be a tad bit more aggressive. Just because with somebody like Adrian Broner, if you stand in front of them or you let them stand in front of you, they're gonna get off. That's just
Yes.
what guys with that skill set do.
Yes.
And also, if you let a talented guy use his talent before he uses his skill, you are not gonna beat him.
No.
You know, a lot of times, guys like Broner, you have to force them to use their skills. Because
that's an excellent point, man.
yeah,
Excellent point.
thank you. Sometimes they're not as skilled as their talent says.
Yeah.
You know, so that's what Maidana was able to do. He was able to make Broner use skill, and when we seen him have to use skill, we seen he didn't really have any.
Right.
You know, man, Khabib just let Adrian Broner be talented. You know, and that's why I'm giving Broner a B.
Okay.
Because it was sheer talent. The only thing that I did see that I liked was his stance wasn't as wide, which is a point that you've made before, and that's a great point because a lot of people don't understand foot placement in boxing and what it does to you.
Mm-hmm.
You know, his stance wasn't as wide. He was actually able to roll punches a bit better. I actually find myself going, oh man, good shoulder roll.
Yeah.
And he was using his footwork better. Now, and like I said, another reason for the B, because I know a lot of guys who are fans of his, maybe gonna say I'm critiquing him a bit too hard. Another reason for the B is because Khabib was just a step behind him the entire fight. He never cut the ring off. He was actually not chasing Broner in terms of Broner was running, but chasing Broner in terms of the angle he was using to get to him.
Right.
You know, and you just can't do that, man. You cannot do that. When he got Broner up against the ropes, you know, he didn't put anything on him. He would hit him, like you said earlier, he would hit him with 3 or 4 shots, and he would just let him back. You know, he would let him off the ropes, or he would actually take a step back.
Right.
And that tells me when a fighter does that, he's thinking too much.
Right.
He's thinking too much, and he's beginning to think that his punches aren't doing anything. So he lets the guy off the ropes so he can readjust and try to get in a different way. And you can't do that. With somebody like Adrian Broner, you have to beat his forearms as if you're landing clean body shots. You gotta beat his shoulders up.
Absolutely.
You know, you gotta beat his wrist up, because you have to do something that makes these guys switch the look up. Okay, and last night Khabib did not do that. That's one of the reasons why he lost the fight. You know, I will give credit to Broner is that he threw 2 different looks at Khabib. He gave him the Mayweather type of guard, and then he gave him the high guard with the hands directly in front of his face.
Yeah.
And Khabib didn't know what to do with either one. If I were him, I would have wanted him to use the shoulder roll. I would have wanted to use it because he doesn't do it that well.
Right.
And you're gonna be able to land on him at some point if you get him to keep doing it.
Yeah.
That's the one thing that Marcos Maidana was able to do. He was able to make Adrian Broner fight him one way. You know, and I didn't, like I said, I didn't expect Khabib to fight a Marcos Maidana type of fight.
Nah, that's not his style.
Exactly, that's not his style. But in the spots where he could have done more, he didn't.
Right.
And like I said, it was a good showing for Broner. I picked him to win. He was in Cincinnati. There was no way I was gonna pick against him. If he were fighting somebody that I knew would have had a better style, I probably would have picked against him.
Word.
But you know, he did what he was supposed to do, and I could never fault a fighter for doing that.
Right.
You know, I could never say that, shit, that victory don't count because, he was supposed to do that. You know, I respect it, but do I see him doing that same thing against the upper echelons of the 140-pound division? Absolutely not.
No.
Yeah, exactly. I honestly believe, and I'll wrap it up right here. Okay. Honestly believe that if he fights someone from the upper echelons of that division, he goes right back to wide stance.
Yep.
Adrian Broner. He goes back to two-punch Adrian Broner, yep. the left hook, yep. and the uppercut that he tries to slip in there sometimes. You know, he likes to throw them together, but Adrian Broner is primarily a one-handed fighter. Yeah. His left hook is mainly the punch he uses because he uses it as a counter shot, and he uses it if he gets you standing in front of him long enough, like he did with Sean Porter. He'll try and leap at you with it, or it's a real flashy punch. Yeah. But other than that, Adrian Broner against guys who know what the hell they're doing, he's one-handed, and that's why he often either gets rocked or he gets the shit beat out of him. So, great fight though, great fight.
Yeah, great fight. 100% agree with your assessment. I want to add in before we conclude this video that he won't do it to the upper echelon fighters. That's why he's trying to fight Ashley Theophane next.
Oh, exactly. Absolutely. Absolutely. Why. You know what, man? And damn, we wrapping it up. Yeah. But you know what? This is a move that Adrian Broner should have done earlier in his career. Yeah. I have no problem with guys taking lighter touches. Right. But you do it early in your career. Absolutely. When you have reached the pinnacle and you take a step backwards, I cannot respect that. Yeah. So I understand you want to reinvigorate your career and you want to do the things that you were supposed to be doing. But guess what? You marketed yourself completely opposite of what you're saying right now. Yep. Yep. So you're going to lose respect from fans like myself. Absolutely. You know, you can't fight Marcos Maidana and, Sean Porter and guys like that lose and then say, you know what, let me backtrack real quick.
Fuck that. You can't go from I let the fans pick my fight. You can't go from
absolutely.
that.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Calling out motherfucking Ashley Theophane, be like, come on, man. Yep. Ashley Theophane is a C-level fighter. Oh, he always has been. He's not a good fighter.
He's not a good fighter.
He's another Emmanuel Taylor as far as level-wise.
Yeah.
Another Carlos Molina. This is just. It's not something I want to see, and if it gets me, it was stupid to call him out because you don't call out C-level fighters when you have a strap. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Once you have a strap, you need to be calling out the best in the fucking division, and Ashley Theophane is not that dude. So. Exactly. So it'll be another, and the fight will happen. Yeah. It'll be another bullshit, fight for Broner. Yeah. Another easy victory. Yeah. But it is what it is. As of right now, Adrian Broner is a B-level fighter to me. His performance was B-level. And though I do respect him, but I can only respect him as far as what he's shown me. And okay, you want to be a humble guy? That's all good. That's cool. I don't care if he talks or not. My thing is, if you talk, you better back it up. Yes, sir. And that's my only criticism of him. As far as his character, too much fucking talking and not enough backing shit up. Word.
Exactly.
Spoken true from my man Sess's mouth. So we're gonna go ahead and conclude this. Adrian Broner is now the WBA 140-pound champion. Whether you thought he deserved it or not, it is what it is. Unfortunately. So I hope he gets bigger and better fights, other than what the fuck he's talking about next in Ashley Theophane. So. My man Sess, this is your boy 2K to God. Like, comment, and subscribe.
Yes, sir.
Real. This is real talk for real fans.